Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with My Hero Academia. And it's not just any My Hero Academia either, it's Heroes Rising. It's the movie, which I'm really fucking excited for, because I've been waiting for this for a goddamn long time. And don't worry, I know, I was questioning myself on whether or not I wanted to wait until Season 5 to watch this. It's kind of split in terms of the recommendations of what I do. People are saying that you should wait until Season 5 because in this movie they allude to things in Season 5. So I'm guessing it takes place around that time period. And then there are other people that say, oh, it's just alluding to things that are happening there. It's not really all that heavy, important shit. And one of the advocates for that actually was Clifford Chapin, who, if you don't know, is the English Bakugo voice actor. And I've got to back my boy Bakugo, don't I? So, you know what I mean? Another thing is, like, Season 5 is a long way away. I think it's coming out, is it May next year? It's a long time to wait for more My Hero, and this year has been shit. It's been absolutely fucking trash. And I just need some My Hero in my life to kind of just, cheer me up about the whole situation. So we're going to be doing Heroes Rising now. So those that wanted it, here you go. But yeah, I mean, another reason, like pretty much the reason why I really, really am giddy for this movie is that whilst Two Heroes focused on sort of All Might and Deku, and having them have that sort of, father-son, like, Kamehameha moment, I felt was like, I'm glad that we got that, I talked about that, obviously, in the Two Heroes movie, which you can go watch if you wish. So I'm glad that we actually got that moment, because obviously, the movie came out after Season 3, and of course during Season 3 we lost All Might as a hero, so the fact that they actually got that moment at least once is fantastic. But while Two Heroes obviously focused on them two, Heroes Rising, Bakugo gets a lot of time to shine in this movie, so I've heard. So of course, this movie I'm really, really giddy for, and I honestly I'm fucking I'm trembling with like anticipation as to what we're going to see. So yeah, really, really excited for this. In terms of like what else to really talk about before we get into it, I don't think there is much, because I'm guessing this does take place like midway through Season 5 at some point. I think I've heard that Blind Wave are doing their reaction to this movie through Season 5, so that's their prerogative. But I think in terms of like what you should look at, like if it's really that important to somebody to wait until Season 5, then that's their kind of prerogative. I think it's kind of like a similar, not totally, but I think it's kind of like a similar situation to like the sort of the Fate series. It's like, well, do you watch Fate Zero first, or do you watch Unlimited Blade Works first, right? And vice versa. Like I said, I don't think it's entirely the same, just because of the fact that, like, I think the general consensus would be, once Season 5's out, anyone that hasn't seen like My Hero before will get to the point where all of the minor sort of spoilers, I suppose, from the movie are out of the way in the season, then watch the movie. But because obviously we are doing this but before Season 5 is released, it's kind of just like, fuck it. They're going to be just minor spoilers, so I don't think it's really going to affect, I don't think it's going to affect my enjoyment of Season 5, put it that way. I mean, of course, we'll not know until Season 5 comes out, and then, and then I'll just be like, oh, that's what that was, but, I don't think it's going to be that much of a bigger deal, so, we're just going to be doing Heroes Rising today, and this year. And so for those wanting that will want me to react to it now, here you go. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. So yeah, I mean, if you do want to get access to my full length reaction to this movie, then the link is in the description below to take it to my Patreon, where you can actually watch the full thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a cut version. I'm going to have it up here on YouTube, but if it does get taken down for copyright, then I'll re-upload this video as a discussion, and the link to the cut version will be in the description as well. Okay, so yeah, if that is the case, then the link will be down there. If not, yeah, the full length link will always be there. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else? Is there anything else I really need to talk about? I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, we're not going to talk about anything anymore. We're just going to get into this movie and see what we get. So yeah, excited. Let's go. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. As if that movie, it just eclipsed not just the previous My Hero movie, but fucking hell. Like, oh man, I don't even know where to start. I just don't. That was nuts. That was but it was everything that I ever wanted. Like, because of how it ended with Bakugo, like, not having the memories and everything, and no longer having one for all. But like, because it ended like that, it's like these movies are, they're great for, like, sort of giving, I guess, situations to, like, that wouldn't happen in the actual main story. You know what I mean? I think because like, the idea of Bakugo having, like, one for all, it is like everything that I could have hoped for. Like, that was the best reveal of anything, and him having it was just like, those that know how much I love Bakugo. So if anything was to come out of this show, that was the thing that I could, like, beyond my wildest dreams, that I would have ever hoped happened, was that Bakugo ended up with, like, one for all, and it fucking happened. I can't believe it. Like, that reveal where Midoriya's, like, racking his brain around, like, what can he possibly do in this situation, and comes to the conclusion that he has to give Bakugo one for all. And it's just the slight reveal where, like, you're completely not even, because you wouldn't even consider it, would you? Like, as a viewer, like, I don't think you can even consider it. Like, I think, I wouldn't believe anyone would conceive that idea. Like, watching this, I would call that person a liar if they were like, is he going to give him one for all? Because we know the ramifications of that, right? And regardless of, like, season 5 obviously is not out, so I don't know what happens then. Of what could have been the ramifications if Deku just didn't have it, you know what I mean, a quirk anymore. But that reveal is incredible. I think it's probably my favourite moment of the movie, I think, because it obviously, plays back the dialogue that All Might is having with Deku about gifting one for all to somebody, right? And I just love the fact that it's not. I love the fact that Deku isn't saying it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, he's holding out his hand, and Bakugo knows what it means, because obviously All Might told him everything at the end of season 3, and it's just inferred that that's what he's going for. You know what I mean? And it's like, mixed with the music, which is always fucking great. This movie had some really good music, man. God, back and go with One for All. It's gonna take us a while to get over that one. I can't believe. I just wanted in my head. I was just thinking, oh God, like, especially when One for All obviously came back to Deku, right? I was thinking, fuck, did it split? Have they both got it now? And fuck me, would that have been amazing if Bakugo just had it? He had it, But the problem is that they use the movies as not like they use the movies as canon, but they don't use it as like a like to go along with the main storyline. So if people who hadn't watched the movies are watching through in like season 5, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, how the fuck did Bakugo get One for All? What did I miss? So I think it's probably. I don't even think like there'll be remnants of it with Bakugo. I would love if there was. But I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't talk about like the fact that he no longer has it, because he fucking had it. And before that even happened, I never even considered the fact that he would ever have it. Like, there was just, how would he have got it? Unless Deku legitimately sacrificed himself in a season, but I mean, a miracle was made. I mean, I would have taken the like there wasn't enough time between transfers before Bakugo, passed out. I mean, because remember, like, it can take like up to hours, right? For like the transfer to purely go through. Which means I'm not even sure we even saw the possibility of Bakugo with One for All truly there. You know what I mean? Because that was like immediately after he got it. But when Deku got it, didn't he have like... How long did he have? He had like a couple hours or something, didn't he? Before it would like actually kick in. Something like that. God. I'm emotionally and mentally exhausted after that one. That does happen. That does fucking happen. Yeah, so even if Bakugo, if he doesn't have any remnants, I would love it if I would just love it if like he's now part of the lineage though. Like, do you know how like you've got like obviously all of the One for All carriers that like appear in like certain visuals, right? I would love it if Bakugo is like faintly there, just for like that moment in time that he had it, if he was there, a part of it, because it would just be the best thing, man. But yeah, big ups to fucking Deku as well for fucking going that far. You know what I mean? Because I can't just fucking, you know what I mean? But the thing is it's tough because it's everything I wanted with Bakugo, and it's just like I just can't stop thinking about it and talking about it. But yeah, I mean, big ups to Deku for even like going for that. You know what I mean? Because that's tough. You know what I mean? When you spend all that time without a quirk and you eventually get one, like think about the selflessness. I mean, which we know that Midoriya has anyway, right? But that was like the highest of the high. Like that would be the last thing, like the last resort that Deku would ever do, to save someone if he can avoid. Like, you know what I mean? If he can't avoid it, then that's his go to, right? And in that situation, obviously, it was perfect for it, but. Fucking wow, man. I love that it was like kind of there was a moment where it wasn't entirely shot for shot, but it was so similar to when All Might used his United States of Smash, right? And obviously his flame flared up. You know what I mean? For one last smash. It was just a great like sort of just it's a similar thing. I noticed that actually throughout the movie there was like little moments that like you know basically compared back to season three for a lot of it, because you had you basically had like the team up, a couple of team ups actually. One of them that was like Kirishima and Todoroki and Ida and stuff, and it was like Kamino Ward, where they were pulling off that plan, right? And then the provisional license exam when you had the Bakugo crew, which the power with the puppets wasn't too dissimilar from the fucking mushified fucking quirk thing that dude had, from Shiketsu. And obviously that with the final smash thing, just crazy. And of course everything surrounding the fact that the moment that when Bakugo found everything else out, that was season three as well. So a lot of it was season three, and little sort of callbacks to there. But yeah, just really fucking incredible. I love the fact that Bakugo went for a Detroit smash. Like in any other situation, he would never use another person's move, but because he had it, like if it was for one moment, right, he could really let himself like sort of just embrace that All Might. Like, it was like that All Might just kind of fan moment where he could do an All Might for a bit. You know what I mean? It's just great. So good, so fucking good. Oh, what else? Yeah, the moment of the fight where I guess he falls down into a crater, right? And he can't exactly put him like get up and over the crater. I mean, I guess he could, but he just like goes for like he melts through the rock. It's just insane. Really cool, man. Like that's the one thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like the creativity and the use of power in this show is really, it's so good. It's so creative. It's so creative. You know what I mean? It could easily just be in a show where a lot of it is just straight up literal, like what it says on the tin. That's how the power works. All right, what's the most literal use of it? Let's do that. But they come up with so many, like, manga comes up with so many ideas, man. So many different ideas of how to use them, and it's not just like I mean, strictly like, especially in this movie, for the first like quarter of the movie, I mean, you're seeing the class use their powers in everyday sort of issues to help out. Really cool. And even when you get into the fights and stuff like that, like setting up traps, the teamwork between them, so fucking so good. I knew at one point we were going to get Dark Shadow unleashed, and it was such a miniature slice, but we did get it. I knew as soon as I thought it was going to be like on the outside because sunset was rolling in. I didn't expect but as soon as they obviously ended up in the cave, I was like, shit. But of course, that's another callback as well to season 3. Was obviously Dark Shadow going mental, because he only goes mental. He doesn't go mental strictly in darkness. It used to be slightly like sort of harder to control, but it wasn't. He didn't go full beast mode until Shoji got his hand torn off, right? And then that's when he went mental. And then in this movie, it was when Mina got attacked, and she hit her head hard as well. But they'll all be fine. Oh God, what else? Todoroki, and he's sort of prominence ice. He didn't shout out any term for what he's, I guess, what he's calling that thing, but it was essentially he used the same. I guess he applied the same idea that Endeavor told him about his fire into his ice. It's just cool, man. It's just so cool. Fucking hell. So I'm calling it prominence ice for now. Imagine he could do that on both at the same time. Fucking Jesus. The fucking power behind that, man. That would be insane. I guess while we're on that, we'll go back to the very beginning as well, because even though it was a twice clone, having Endeavor and Darby like clash, that's big. That's big, especially if Darby is a Todoroki, which I believe that he will be. That'll be revealed at some point. I think I remember talking about in the last episode of season 4 about how it's convenient that the Nomu that was sent into the city pretty much after Endeavor was sent by Darby, you know. And I can't remember exactly what I was talking about. You can obviously go back and listen to the post discussion for episode 25 on that, on that video. But I was talking about, like, you know, it is convenient that it was Darby that sent it, and also the fact that he was on his own in that, like, you know, he obviously like went in like this fucking like a storage bin almost in a way, and released the one from there, almost like he was doing it on his own. I don't know if he actually did get orders from Shigaraki, but basically that's what I go into, is like, was Darby doing that on his own as some sort of personal vendetta against his dad, you know? Because now we're in a situation where Endeavor and Todoroki are on the mend, Shoto, but on the other hand, now you can have Darby be the scorned child, right? The one that doesn't come back around, you know. So yeah, that was really cool, even though it was a twice clone. But yeah, that was really, really cool. What else? Fucking Ayama with a bloody plus ultra as well. I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? It's cool that he got a plus ultra moment, man, which he refers to as supernova, which comes out of like all these different like sort of areas, like on his knees and stuff, and it seemed like the one on his shoulders. That was just really cool. Ayama's like really fucking sort of propelled himself a bit more in prominent status in Class 1A, I feel like, to other characters, seeing like since the last half of season 4, because he's become like Deku's like best mate, hasn't he? Really cool. I love the sort of assigned rules thing that they were doing, that was very sort of put forth in this movie as well. Like, not just in terms of like, you had the groups that were more whether it was like their quirks were more suited to, rescue or or fighting or whatever, but also like almost like just really like setting in stone, like, hitting you with the fact of like, Deku is to rescue people, as Bakugo is to win and beat the villain, right? And put them together, and then just like that it's that just like that unity of both of them together that can really just tear villains a fucking new one. But yeah, just also just like having Bakugo, I love it when, because Bakugo needs it, you know what I mean? Like, he needs his fans that are, that obviously they're not going to be as plenty as a hero like Deku, but it just, because there is a lack thereof, it just makes it so much. It's really just nice to see, like, little kids like looking up to Bakugo as a hero. It's just really cool, you know. And like Katsuma really like sort of embodied that. I think it's interesting because you would, I mean, for our world, right? You would see, like the priority is on, rescuing people and everything like that. But hero work comes with it, and obviously we've learned, in My Hero Academia, that there are, some heroes do theirs for monetary gain, or like almost like it's an occupation, as opposed to the actual. The ideal hero that doesn't do it for gratitude or anything like that, kind of like what Stain was obviously preaching about. But this kid didn't have any, he didn't have any gripes against any hero that does things differently. That when Midoriya turned up like nearly an hour, like over an hour late or something, and Maharu was giving him shit for it, but Katsuma was like, he still come, didn't he? And then the same was when they tried to set up a thing where her hologram illusion was a villain, and Bakugo came, and she was saying that, like, God, what's the deal with that Bakugo guy? You know what I mean? And Katsuma, again, the same thing. It's like, he came to help us. So you gotta look at it in that respect. Like, I like the fact that Katsuma was just like, to him it was a hero, and maybe like on a more, I guess, a more subtle level would be that I felt like Katsuma, while he just idolizes heroes in general, that he was more sort of, well, the way that he described it was kind of more on Bakugo's level, right? About wanting to win. And that's what it was. But this show always puts up that sort of thing where it's like, you need to be fighting to kind of be number one, almost, in a way. And that was something that was, we've always got to think about the ranking system. So yeah, really, really cool. On to 9, I suppose. Damn. I mean, even without the fact that he went to the League of Villains, he had a fucking crazy power as it was. Like that lightning, man. I felt like that was actually... I mean, I don't know what... I'll let you look that up, because obviously I didn't have subtitles on. But I didn't actually get the names of the villain crew. I think one of them was Slice. I think that was the girl with the red hair. But I didn't get the other ones. So, but I mean, in terms of like powers for them, like for 9 and the other dude, those were some insane powers, man. Those were tough. Oh, here we go. So Hisaki Kiruka, so that was the one that had the they could basically fire like needles from her hair and shit. Both her and, where is he? Her and, oh god, it doesn't show his name on fucking, it doesn't show his name here. I'm gonna guess this is him because it's the one without a picture. Makihara Hoyo, I think that was the guy that had the puppets, right? So yeah, both Needle Hair Girl and the guy with the puppets weren't really that much of a threat. But Cone, guy that was like a wolf dude, he had some fucking crazy powers. And the fact is that I'm guessing we're supposed to take that as That was actually just his power, right? Because I don't recall them ever talking about like you know, like him getting multiple quirks, but Nine definitely did. That's the reason why they called him Nine, right? Because including his own, he could have 9 quirks up to one time. I assume that when he first came to the island and he was, he faced off against Midoriya and he tried to take Midoriya's power, that he couldn't do it because it's technically 2 powers, meaning that he must have had 8 at the time, right? Which also means he must be able to just discard them, like. But then what happens then? You know? Because he was given One for All's power, right? He was given specifically that power. But his body could only handle 9. Yeah. I do find that bit interesting, actually, to be fair, that the reason why he couldn't get it was because it was 2 at once. But I thought it was more like I talked about it, obviously, in the reaction, but I don't know if it'll be in the cut version. But I thought it was just a case because it couldn't be forcibly taken. That's. Because if that was the case, then surely All for One would have tried to take One for All at some point, So actually, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, talking about that, yeah, I don't know if Bakugo will be in the lineage then. Fuck, I wish he was though, because then it would be a case of One for All stack, because One for All essentially stacks powers, right? Like if it was given to Bakugo, for example, instead of Midoriya, right, and then Bakugo give it to someone else who didn't have like explosive powers, then they would have explosive powers, right? But then they also talk about like One for All being just a sort of an amalgamation of power. It's not really like So I don't know, but yeah, turn that off there. Take that down. Oh, fucking hell. What else? Yeah, so I guess back with Katsuma, yeah, so he has the cell activation quirk, which his dad also had, but his dad, I think, said that he can only do it with A-type blood, whereas the kid can do it with any type. Yeah, so that's a good example there of a hereditary quirk that is sort of enhanced to a larger degree. Bakugo's as well, really, innit? But actually, I can't remember. Bakugo's isn't. I can't remember. Can't remember if they actually talked about it or not. Yeah, so I'm sure about Katsuma's quirk. Didn't he talk about it being a dangerous quirk at some point? I'm sure he actually said it was a dangerous quirk. But it's just cell activation. So to what degree is it a dangerous quirk then? Because realistically, like what it did was it healed Bakugo, Midoriya, and even enhanced their physical performance. So like I feel like on the surface, it's like just a really helpful support type quirk. So I don't see how it could be dangerous, unless like you're given too much. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm sure just like working on that, like to a degree, especially considering he was able to heal both Bakugo and Deku at the same time. When he's that young, I'm sure like when he gets older and he's able to sort of amplify that to a degree, like you could, you know what I mean, you can heal somebody almost like next to no time maybe, and then at the same time, like, even if someone isn't hurt, boost them up a bit, you know what I mean? Increase their physical performance. So he definitely could, and Deku obviously ended off the movie by saying that you'll see him at UA, so I'm sure he will go to the UA at some point. What else? Oh yeah, we saw the Doctor this movie, didn't we? I was going to say this episode here. Yeah, that is the same Doctor from fucking episode 1, the same one that said that Deku wouldn't get a quirk. Interesting. So I wonder what the idea is then. I wonder, like, when he told Deku that he would never get a quirk, did he already know All for One then, or not? I would assume not, because if he's working for All for One, why would he bother doing a normal job? Unless he was assigned to be a normal doctor to tell kids that they wouldn't get a quirk. But then surely the quirks that come out at some points are just like, you know, like eventually you'll see them. But I don't know if it's like a thing of, if he's telling kids that they're not going to get quirks and shit, and like, even though they do, maybe it's just a way to keep people in check. I don't know. I don't think so though. I feel like, you know, he would have been brought in after the fact. I mean, remember, All for One can give people quirks, right, to almost keep them under control, right? That was one of the things that All Might was talking about. So I imagine he probably gave him a quirk and is probably keeping control of him through that. And I'm not sure it's just the evilness of the Doctor, right? I don't think that is what it is. But yeah, he did show up. I recognise the Tash. Yeah, so I mean, other than that, I've pretty much gone through fucking everything. Back goes Catapult. That was insane. That was fucking nuts. That was a great attack. I love that. Again, that kind of goes with like just like the teamwork on display. It was insane. But that Catapult attack was one of my favourites. Just so fucking cool. I can't believe. Great stage to have the final fight as well. Like, it's just a perfect little. It was like it was set there for that reason. You know what I mean? Just so cool. They set it up like a siege, which again is like really just a creative way to set a stage for a fight. Because obviously he has to go like up the levels past different people to get to the, you know, to get what he wants. You know, and Deku and Baku are like the fucking, you know, the knights. Just really, really cool, man. Really fucking cool. Shoji was like the fucking, I don't know, he's like the king or something, like protecting his prince and princess. Very cool. I just love how everyone got their moment. Everyone like attacked and then got hurt and then attacked again, which I feel like is important. You know what I mean? Like having everyone go beyond and not just like either cower or just stay out the fight because they couldn't hack it. You know what I mean? They actually all, against their body's own will, you know, got back into the fight to try and help out. So yeah, I'm just really fucking really impressed with this movie. Really, really happy. I mean, in terms of people that were talking about how people shouldn't react to this until season 5 comes out. I mean, I don't see what there could have been in that movie that could spoil anything in season 5. I mean, I guess considering the fact that I don't know what happens in season 5 means I'm not going to know until season 5 comes around. But like, I'm trying to think of anything that would, like, you know, anything that shouts out at me as being something that we don't already know from season 4. You know, I mean, the one thing is the change in like Shigaraki's coat. You know what I mean? He was wearing a black trench coat in season 4, which is really cool. I like that upgrade of him having the big black trench coat. Like he looks way more menacing with that. And then the red one, which I actually like even better. I really like the red trench coat. So I don't know, maybe that. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what else it could be. The only other thing I would probably say is just like, when it comes to season 5, maybe there is talk about what happened here. You know what I mean? Because it is such a big fucking deal. I wouldn't be surprised if there are mentions to it. You know what I mean? The reason why I think it's different from this one to Two Heroes, because we haven't mentioned anything from Two Heroes in the main story, uh, is that this is taking place, like, this was a movie released before in the timeline of when it takes place. You know what I mean? Because obviously season 5 isn't out yet, so I feel like there may be some sort of talk about it, possibly. The thing is, as well, is like, that's the thing, is like, when you're talking about the main story in the movies being separate as almost like a different, like, you know, like a different setting, and also given those like little what ifs moments. That, you know, like, if we're talking about, you know, they're obviously adapting from the manga, and I don't know if the manga actually goes into Heroes Rising at all. I feel like it probably wouldn't, right? So, you know, there is that. So, you know, they may not even talk about it at all in the season. I would like for them to, but I don't know if they are going to. That's why I don't think anything really prominent will come up from then. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. So that is me exhausted for today. Oh god, and I've got to go and edit it. So yeah, fun times. Really, really cool movie. Really, really impressed with that. It eclipsed the first one for me by a mile, and that's hard. That's, you know, it was hard to do, but I just felt like it gave everyone an opportunity that they needed. You know, because having it set on an island that is away, it's supposed to be away from sort of criminal activity to this degree, but of course it was never going to go that well. And, you know, not having like any supervisors, teachers there, basically meant that it was all down to the students, and they're the ones that had to figure it out, and they did, and they got through it as a class. Everything that they learned basically in the you know, provisional license exam and everything all came to fruition, and they all did, you know what I mean. Everything that they learned was basically put into practice there, and just really cool. If anything, to concrete the fact that this class will go far, that was it right there. They don't need the aid of you know, teachers. They can do it. But yeah, really, really fucking cool. But that's all I got. So thank you everyone for watching. Again, you know, if you do want to watch the full length, I know that it's obviously after the reaction's already here, but if you want to obviously watch my reaction to the rest of the show, that wasn't obviously in the cut version, then you can do by going over to my Patreon page. So yeah, the movie reactions for the full length and everything is through the exclusive tier, right, which is the top tier, and that'll give you reactions to movies and stuff, which, you know, now that I've gotten this one done and out of the way, we move on and we do more movie reactions. So yeah, now they're not going to be on a set schedule. It's just going to be whenever I can do them, whenever I have time to do them. So, you know, but they're going to start coming now. Okay, so look out for those. I might start doing polls and stuff for movies to react to. I think in terms of like the next movies that I'm going to be reacting to, it's looking like it's probably going to be the Fate movies, and everything like that. So, you know, you can look forward to those. Possibly the Code Geass movies, if that is you know, if I'm willing to do that, or just put it onto a poll. I don't know, but regardless, just keep an eye out for it. So yeah, you can go over to my Patreon page. In terms of like show reactions and everything like that, there are other tiers that, you know, are associated with show reactions. So you've got the early access tier, which is $5 a month. That gives you access to shows a week early, and then there is the full length tier, which gives you access to full length 4 shows. Okay, so if you want to watch my full length to any of those, then that's those are the tiers for you. And again, the exclusive tier is for movie reactions and things like that. So if you want to watch my reactions to movies, that is the tier for you. But yeah, there's also the link to the Discord in the description below as well. But that is all I got. So thank you, Fortune. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.